When I said be away, I didn't mean go away. Can't hear you. Ah, you are still here. Good. Um, you're there, Bob. Yeah.
Can you hear me okay?
Yep, can hear you well now. Yeah.
Right, okay. Now, 1649, there were the diggers, but at the same time, mostly overlapping, were the ranters. And one of the main leaders of the ranters was Abiezer Coppe. So this is a song from Leon Rosselson about Abiezer Coppe. Abiezer Coppe did away with sin. My body is my church, he said, God's dwelling is within. All I do is holy, Abiezer cried, gave his loving freely, a ranter till he died. So drink a loving cup to Abiezer, Abiezer, he's a drinking, dancing, roaring ranter, Abiezer Coppe, Abiezer Coppe. A pox upon the pious and on what the scriptures teach. I'd sooner hear a tinker cuss than hear a vicar preach. Shameless in his pleasures, smoke and drunk and swore, breaking out his fellow creature, beggar, thief and whore. So drink a loving cup to Abiezer, Abiezer, he's a drinking, dancing, roaring ranter, Abiezer Coppe, Abiezer Coppe. The righteous said the devil will take Coppe and his kind. The devil is God's backside, said Coppe, and hell's a state of mind. Women are the only heaven, marriage is the only hell. Abiezer Coppe knew it very well. So drink a loving cup to Abiezer, Abiezer, he's a drinking, dancing, roaring ranter, Abiezer Coppe, Abiezer Coppe. Through the streets of London, Abiezer came, heard the hungry cries for bread, he was a soul in pain. When the nobles in their coaches passed, he charged with wild eyes, gnashed his teeth in anger, roared up to the skies. Howl, you rich and noble, you will reap in what you sow, for the day of doom is coming that will lay the mighty low, and your property will canker, and your houses will decay, and the rust of all your silver will burn your flesh away. So drink a loving cup to Abiezer, Abiezer, he's a drinking, dancing, roaring ranter, Abiezer Coppe, Abiezer Coppe. Community in all things, Abiezer said, the naked shall have clothing, the hungry shall have bread. The great man jails the cutpurse, the rich man starves the poor. Without property, cried Abiezer, theft would be no more. So drink a loving cup to Abiezer, Abiezer, he's a drinking, dancing, roaring ranter, Abiezer Coppe, Abiezer Coppe. Accused by church and parliament, attacked on every side, they banned his books and burned them, and he was seized and tried. The magistrates condemned him for vile blasphemy. He pelted them with nutshells, saying, you my judges be. To Newgate jail they took him, the ranter's dream was dead. I have no taste for martyrdom, I will recant, he said. I banish sin, but I have heard it cannot be denied. For these are sins, greed, tyranny, hypocrisy and pride. So drink a loving cup to Abiezer, Abiezer. He's a drinking, dancing, roaring ranter. Abiezer Coppe, Abiezer Coppe. Abiezer Coppe did away with sin. My body is my church, he said, God's dwelling is within. History disowned him, his ghost they cannot kill. Haunts the rich and righteous, drunk and dancing still. Last time now, drink a loving cup to Abiezer, Abiezer. He's a drinking, dancing, roaring ranter. Abiezer Coppe, Abiezer Coppe.
Thanks, Bob, for that start to the evening. Not sure about the line "Women are the only heaven, marriage is the only hell." Seems yes. Let's not go into that. Anyway, so Maggie and Pete, it's over to you, and after you, it will be Clive Woolf to take the floor, such as it is, please.
Oh, thank you. Tomorrow's St. George's Day. We were trying to find something for that. See if you can spot the link. It's a Sacred Harp song. Sheila Miller, I expect you to sing along with us.
And Clive.
And
Clive.
two of the 4 parts. So yeah, you ready?
Yeah. This is Florence, 121.
Not many years their round shall rise, each morning brings it nigh, ere all its glories stand revealed to our admiring eye. Ye wheels of nature, speed your course, ye mortal powers decay. Fast as ye bring the night of death, will bring eternal day. Ye weary, heavy laden souls who are oppressed sore, ye travellers through the wilderness to Canaan's peaceful shore. Through chilling winds and beating rains, the waters deep and cold, and enemies surrounding you, take courage and be bold. Though storms and hurricanes arise, the desert all around, and fiery serpents oft appear through the enchanted ground. Dark nights and clouds and gloomy fear and dragons often roar, but while the gospel trump we hear, we'll press for Canaan's shore. Dark nights and clouds and gloomy fear and dragons often roar, but while the gospel trump we hear, we'll press for Canaan's shore.
And Sheila Miller was joining in very enthusiastically, I saw. So you got the audience singing along. Well done. Okay, Clive Woolf, it's over to you. And then could we have David Jones? And everybody, could you please, if you can, put the name of your songs in the chat? And if you haven't yet put your hand up and you want to sing, please do so. Okay, over to you, Clive.
I'm going to sing a song that I used to sing in vain hopes. I used to put my kids to sleep with this one, and it failed dismally, except they hate folk songs. Da, 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 dee, dee, dim. That'll do. All the things are quite silent, each mortal at rest, when me and my true love lay snug in one nest. When a bold set of ruffians, they entered our cave, and they forced my dear jewel to plough dirt and salt wave. I begged hard for my sailor as I did for my life, but they'd not listen to me, although a fond wife sang, the king, he wants sailors, to the sea must go, and they left me lamenting in sorrow and woe. Through green fields and meadows we oft times did walk, and sweet conversations of love we did talk, while the birds in the bushes so sweetly did sing, and the lovely thrushes' voices made the valleys tune ring. Oh, though my love's gone, I shall not be cast down. Who knows but one day my true love will return and make me amends for my sorrow and strife, and me and my true love will be happy for life. End.
Good stuff, Clive.
Thank you.
Well, I don't know how you expect anyone to fall asleep to that, because obviously they're going to be riveted by the story. So, yeah, not going to work as a lullaby, in my opinion. Okay, thanks, Clive. Over to David Jones now, and then something from Graham Baldwin, please.
Okay, I'm going to sing a song from the American Civil War. And I knew this song before I ever came to America. So as I recall, it was quite popular and well known in England, Tenting Tonight on the Old Campground. And we have a Civil War drill hall in our town. And every year in April, we celebrate the anniversary of the Civil War and sing songs. We're tenting tonight on the old campground. Give us a song. I'm going to sing up a bit higher, sorry. We're tenting tonight on the old campground. Give us a song to cheer our weary hearts, a song of home and friends we love so dear. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, wishing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. We've been tenting tonight on the old campground, thinking of days gone by, of the loved ones at home that gave the hand and the tear that said goodbye. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, longing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. We're tired of war on the old campground. Many are dead and gone. Of the brave and the true who left their homes, many been wounded long. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, longing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. We've been fighting today on the old campground. Many are lying near. Some are dead and others dying. Many are in tears. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, longing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. Dying tonight, dying tonight, dying on the old campground.
Thanks, David. Good to have another chorus, and very poignant last line, actually. Thanks. Okay, it is time now for Graham Baldwin, and then could we have Tim Radford?
Well, good evening, everybody. And as Maggie and Pete mentioned, it's St George's Day coming up. Friday, actually, not tomorrow. But no problem. And so here's a song about St George. There aren't many songs about St George, so this is a relatively modern one. It's John Kirkpatrick wrote it, I think. So here we go. George, a God-fearing man, I fight for old England whenever I can. With my banner in battle, all foes stand defied. Let the servants and George be all battle cry. And on my breast, the red, red rose, the flower of old England wherever she goes. I am St George, a champion bold. I fought with the dragon and I laid him out cold. I fought with the dragon and brought him to slaughter. And by that means I won the king of Egypt's daughter. And on my breast a red, red rose, the flower of old England wherever she grows. And I fought with the dragon, and I brought him to shame. I was killed 7 times, but I still fought again. I was killed 7 times, but it did me no ill. And God being willing, I'll fight again still. And on my breast, a red, red rose, the flower of old England, wherever she grows. I was struck out at 7 seas into 5 score, the like it was never seen in England before. They gave me a challenge no one it denies. See how high he flew, see how low he lies. And on my breast a red, red rose, the flower of old England wherever she grows. Up goes St George, so fair and so fine, a star on his breast that like silver doth shine. He kindles the hearts of all women and men. May the victory be ours at the final amen. And on my breast a red, red rose, the flower of old England wherever she grows. There you go, St George. Okay, Graham.
Hey, well done.
Great.
Well, Graham, obviously, as a Scot, it's impossible for me to praise any praise of St. George, the patron saint of England, but hopefully others enjoyed that. Okay, it is time now for Tim Radford, and after Tim, could we have Sheila Miller, please?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm going to sing a song about this time of year, written by my old friend and incidentally godmother of my son, the Gloucestershire singer-songwriter Jehanne Mehta, and it's called Green Jack. It's got a chorus which you should be able to pick up. It's very easy. Winter northeast, snow on the crest. Winter takes a long time to be gone. Lambs in the fold, safe from the cold. April past and May coming on. Oh, pray let an ear this music to hear. Cold winds be gone, give Jack but a chance. Hey, come along, come along and join in the dance. Oh, have you seen Jack in the green, footing it so lightly on his toes? Buds in the trees, blossom and leaves, springing out wherever he goes. For he who is slain with the harvested grain is born anew and bids summer advance. Hey, come along, come along and join in the dance. Bird song at dawn, up with the morn, throwing off the years by 2 or 3. Old Mrs. Jones stretches her bones and puts the whistling kettle on for tea. Then she sweeps up the dirt and she gathers her skirts, and away with Green Jack she does prance. Hey, come along, come along and join in the dance. Morris, men all, squire and the fool, cut a merry caper on the green. Come maids and young men, let the dancing begin, for the living earth our fair queen. Then footing it still, make a ring round the hill, and light up the sky with your chants. Hey, come along, come along and join in the dance. Oh, have you seen Jack in the green, footing it so lightly on his toes? Buds in the trees, blossom and leaves, springing out wherever he goes. For he who is slain with the harvested grain is born anew and bids summer advance. Hey, come along, come along and join in the dance. Hey, come along, come along and join in the dance. Green Jack.
Whoa, beautifully sang.
Wonderful. Did you write that?
That was rather pagan, Tim. Enjoyed that. Good stuff. Okay.
Did you write that, Tim?
No, it was written by Jehanne Mehta, who lives in Stroud in Gloucestershire.
Well done, her.
Could you put
I got muted without realising it. It's time now for Sheila Miller and then something from Jim Lucas.
I've just changed my mind about what I was going to do because, as Stacey pointed out, Friday is something more important than St. George's Day, well, more important to some of us. And this is, a predictable choice, but it is one of my favourite poems. Not sure if I've ever done this out loud. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day? Thou art more lovely and more temperate. Rough winds do shake the darling buds of May, and summer's lease hath all too short a day. Sometime too hot the eye of heaven shines, and often is his gold complexion dimmed by chance or nature's changing course untrimmed. But thy eternal summer shall not fade, nor lose possession of that fair thou owest, nor shall death brag thou wanderest in his shade, when in eternal lines to time thou growest. So long as men can breathe, or eyes can see, so long lives this, and this gives life to thee. Sonnet number 18.
One.
Lovely.
I don't think we've had much Shakespeare before. It's lovely to hear it spoken aloud. Thanks, Sheila. Okay, time now for Jim. And after Jim, Charles West will be up to give us a song or anything else he fancies.
Okay, I'm going to try something musical. And I have the words in front of me, but they're too small to read, so I'm glad I think I've memorized it. Yeah. I'll ne'er forget one night last week when the old man came home sober. I was so scared I could not speak when the old man came home sober. He always used to come home tight, and then we used to feel all right. But oh, we were upset that night when the old man came home sober. Oh, the dog rushed up the chimney, the cat rushed up the spout. It jumped into the cradle first, but the baby threw it out. Our mother sought protection behind the carving knife when the old man came home sober for the first time in his life. The parrot gave a shriek and died when the old man came home sober. The canary couldn't, though it tried, when the old man came home sober. The fire died out in the grate, the clock struck 2 at 8:30, then fell and broke its dial plate when the old man came home sober. Oh, the dog rushed up the chimney, the cat rushed up a spout. It jumped into the cradle first, but the baby threw it out. My mother sought protection behind the carving knife when the old man came home sober for the first time in his life. Oh, the servant fell down in a fit when the old man came home sober. Sister Mary did a quit when the old man came home sober. Oh, everyone was filled with fright. Oh, on that most eventful night, everyone was filled with fright. The policeman stayed well out of sight when the old man came home sober. Oh, the dog rushed up the chimney, the cat rushed up a spout. It jumped into a cradle first, but the baby threw it out. My mother sought protection behind the carving knife when the old man came home sober for the first time in his life. Oh, how does the next verse start? Oh, yeah, I've not got over that night yet when the old man came home sober. Indeed, I never shall forget when the old man came home sober. But I'm glad to say that the very next day he went on the booze in the usual way. And I trust he'll ne'er more go astray and never come home sober. Oh, the dog rushed up the chimney, the cat rushed up a spout. It jumped into the cradle first, but the baby threw it out. My mother sought protection behind the carving knife when the old man came home sober for the first time in his life.
Hey, heard that before.
Hilarious.
Perfect depiction of domestic bliss, Jim. Thank you. Okay, time for Charles West now, and then Jeanne and Phil Revnell.
Okay. This is a cover song, of course. I always do these from the 60s. This is written by Steve Goodman, and by now you probably already know that it's City of New Orleans, which was a big hit from Arlo Guthrie, I think. Riding on the City of New Orleans, Illinois Central, Monday morning rail. 15 cars and 15 restless riders, 3 conductors and 25 sacks of mail. All along southbound Odyssey, train pulls out of Kankakee, rolls along past houses, farms, and fields, passing trains that have no name, freight yards full of old black men, and the graveyards rusted automobiles. Good morning, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. Dealing card games with the old men in the club car. Penny a point, ain't no one keeping score. Pass the paper bag that holds the bottle. Feel the wheels rumble beneath the floor. And the sons of Pullman porters and the sons of engineers ride their father's magic carpet made of steel. Mothers with their babes asleep go rocking to the gentle beat. The rhythm of the rail is all they feel. Good morning, America, how are you? Say, don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done. That time on the City of New Orleans, changing cars in Memphis, Tennessee. Halfway home and we'll be there by morning, with the Mississippi darkness rolling down to the sea. And all the towns and people seem fade into a bad dream. Steel rail still ain't heard the news. Conductor sings his songs again. The passengers will please refrain. This train's got to disappear in railroad blues. Good night, America, how are you? Don't you know me? I'm your native son. I'm the train they call the City of New Orleans. I'll be gone 500 miles when the day is done.
Good to hear that again.
Lovely.
Nice stuff, Charles. Some good finger picking going on there. Okay, it's time now for Jeanne and Phil, who I've messed around with the order because I realised that when people arrive at the same time every evening, they're always on at the same time, so I'm mixing things up a little bit, but everyone will still get on. So Jeanne and Phil, it is now finally your turn, and then it will be something from Marty's stock.
Thank you, Amanda. This is a song by Jim Causley called Honiton Lace. And it's about Becky Tywell. Apparently, Jim did a lot of research into her life and found out a lot of interesting stuff about the way she lived.
My name is Becky Tidwell, I've passed twice 30 years. I crave a little of your time to tell of me hopes and fears. I am a single lady, and I think it no disgrace, for me time's been spent in honest toil, a working the Honiton lace. A cottage near to Axminster is the place that I call home. My father left it to me, and it's the one thing that I own. I rise each morning at the dawn when the sun first shows his face, for that is when the time is past for working the Honiton lace. At 9 o'clock I go down to the shop and I take me work. My friends are gathered there and we can spend some time in talk. We get paid off in tokens we can use just in that place, and their value is but 5p for a day at the Honiton lace. Then Mr. Briggs, he gives to me a pattern for to do. Sometimes there is a harder piece that must be done by two. Then me and Bridget Harvey, we sit in her window case, and we spend a pleasant day a-chatting and working the Honiton lace. Now once there was a young man who spoke kindly unto me, but he became a soldier and was lost in the Crimea. He was me only suitor, and no one has took his place, so never for myself I'll work a veil of the Honiton lace. But sometimes when the night draws in, I let me bobbins fall, and I think of the piece I'm working on, some lady at a ball. So all you London ladies whose fine clothes are worked as grace, just think of those Devonshire women who dressed you in your fine Honiton lace.
Really, really, really.
Thanks both. There's some contention over the authorship of that song in the chat that I'll leave you to deal with, but a good song, whoever wrote it. And okay, on now to Marty Stock, and then something from Martin Nail after Marty.
Well, this is a perennially appropriate anti-war song, Green Fields of France. Well, how'd you do, Private William McBride? Do you mind if I sit here down by your graveside? I'll rest for a while in the warm summer sun. I've been walking all day, Lord, and I'm nearly done. And I see by your gravestone you were only 19 when you joined the glorious fallen in 1916. Well, I hope you died quick, and I hope you died clean. For Willie McBride, was it slow and obscene? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er ye as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the floors of the forest? And did you leave a wife or a sweetheart behind? In some faithful heart is your memory enshrined. And though you died back in 1916, to that loyal heart are you always 19? Or are you a stranger without even a name, forever enshrined behind some glass pane, in an old photograph torn and tattered and stained, and fading to yellow in a brown leather frame? Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er ye as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last post and chorus? Did the pipes play the floors of the forest? Well, the sun's shining now on these green fields of France. The warm wind blows gently and the red poppies dance. The trenches have vanished long under the plough. No gas, no barbed wire, no guns firing now. But here in this graveyard, it's still no man's land. The countless white crosses in mute witness stand to man's blind indifference to his fellow man. And a whole generation who were butchered and damned. Did they beat the drum slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er ye as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last boast and chorus? Did the pipes play the floors of the forest? And I can't help but wonder now, Willie McBride, do all those who lie here know why they died? Did you really believe them when they told you the cause? Did you really believe that this war would end wars? Well, the suffering, the sorrow, the glory, the shame, the killing, the dying, it was all done in vain. For Willie McBride it all happened again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Did they beat the drums slowly? Did they sound the fife lowly? Did the rifles fire o'er ye as they lowered you down? Did the bugles sing the last boast in chorus? Did the pipes play the floors of the forest? Did the bugles sing the last boast and chorus? Did the pipes play the floors of the forest?
Beautiful. That always makes me cry.
Nicely done, Marty. And a great song. Can't be beat. Okay, over now to Martin Nail. So we've had Marty, now we have Martin. And after Martin, could we have David Kidman and Pelagie?
Right, well, I don't think I can match the body count of the last song, but this is still a bloody ballad. And we haven't actually have we had any ballads tonight? Not as many as we do sometimes. Says my lord to me lady, as he mounted his horse, beware of long Lankin that lives in the moss. Says my lord to me lady, as he rode away, beware of long Lankin that lives in the hay. Let the doors be all bolted and the windows opened. Let there be not a crack for a mouse to creep in. So the doors were all bolted and the windows opened, but at a small crack in the window long Lankin crept in. Where's the lord of this household? Says long Lankin. He's away up to London, says the false nurse to him. Where's the lady of this household? Cries long Lankin. She's asleep in her chamber, says the false nurse to him. Where's the heir of this household? says long Lankin. He's asleep in his cradle, says the false nurse to him. We'll pinch him, we'll prick him all over with a pin, man, that'll make me lady for to come down to him. So they pinched him and they pricked him all over with a pin, and the false nurse held the basin for the blood to run in. Oh, nurse, how you slumber, oh, nurse, how you sleep, you leave my little son for to cry and to weep. Oh, nurse, how you slumber, oh, nurse, how you snore, you leave my little son for to cry and to roar. I've tried him with the milk, I've tried him with the pap. Come down, my pretty lady, and rock him in your lap. I've tried him with the rattle, I've tried him with the bell. Come down, my pretty lady, and rock him yourself. So thou dost I come down in the dead of the night, when there's no fires kindled and no candles alight. You have 3 silver mantles, as bright as the sun. Come down, my pretty lady, oh, by the light of one. So my lady came downstairs, she was thinking no harm, but Lord Long Lankin stood ready for to catch her in his arms. Oh, there's blood in the kitchen, there's blood in the hall, there's blood in the parlour where my lady did fall. Her maiden looked out from the turret so high, and they saw her lord and master from London riding by. Oh, master, don't lay the blame on me. 'Twas the false nurse and Lankin that killed your lady. Oh, master, don't lay the blame on me. 'Twas the false nurse and Lankin that killed your baby. Oh, Long Lankin shall be hanged on the gibbet so high, and the false nurse shall be burned in the fire close by. Long Lankin.
What a happy start.
I am the son of Baldwin.
And a timely reminder from Martin to pay your bills promptly should you ever get any work done in the house. Yeah. I won't elaborate on that. Anyway, it's time for David and Pelagie, or Pelagie and then David, as you wish. And after they have performed, could we have John White, please?
Right, hi there. We've just had one reminder, in fact, two reminders of St. George's Day being on Friday this week. So here's another song with a St. George type theme from the pen of Maggie Holland, and you know what's coming. I rode out on a bright May morning like a hero in a song, looking for a place called England, trying to find where I belong. Couldn't find the old flood meadow or the house that I once knew. No trace of the little river or the garden where I grew. I saw town and I saw country, motorway and sink estate, rich man in his rolling acres, poor man still outside the gate. Retail park and burger kingdom, prairie field and factory farm, run by men who think that England's only a place to park their car. But as the train pulled from the station through the wastelands of despair, from the corner of my eye a brightness filled the filthy air. Someone's sown a patch of sunflowers, though the soil is sooty black, marigolds and a few tomatoes right beside the railway track. Down behind the terraced houses, in between the concrete towers, compost heaps and scarlet runners, secret gardens full of flowers. Mehta grows her scented roses right beneath the big jet's path. Bid a fortune for her garden, Eileen turns away and laughs. Rise up, George, and wake up, Arthur. Time to rouse out from your sleep. Deck the horse with sea green ribbons. Drag the old sword from the deep. Hold the line for Dave and Daniel as they tunnel through the clay, while the oak, in all its glory, soaks up sun for one more day. Come all you at home with freedom, whatever the land that gave you birth. There's room for you, both root and branch, as long as you love the English earth. Room for vole and room for orchid, room for all to grow and thrive. Just less room for the fat landowner on his arse in his four-wheel drive. For England is not flag or empire, it is not money and is not blood. It's limestone gorge and granite fell, it's weald and clay and Severn mud. It's blackbird singing from the May-tree, lark ascending through the scales. It's robin watching from your spade and English earth beneath your nails. So here's two cheers for a place called England, sore abused but not yet dead. A Mr. Harding sort of England, hanging in there by a thread. Here's two cheers for the crazy diggers, now their hour shall come around. We shall plant the seed they saved us, commonwealth and common ground.
Woo!
Fantastic.
Thanks, David. Pelagie, you'll have to unmute. But the first time I heard that song sung, David, was by a Scot. So Anyone can sing it.
Oh.
So, okay, over to you, Pelagie, and John White. Don't forget, you're next after her.
Right. It's very lucky doing poems that you don't actually have to follow. So this doesn't, but I'm not making any apology for it. As you walk the road of this life, never forget that the journey of 100,000 paces begins with a flat tyre and a broken fan belt. If the brakes can't be repaired, make the horn louder. And sometimes on a sunny day, let the dog drive and put your head out of the window. Never suffer from insanity, enjoy it. And never criticise your fellow man until you've walked a mile in his shoes. If he doesn't like it, you're a mile away and you've got his shoes. When in a general store, never ask for anything in particular. Never go into Waterstones and ask them to help you to find a book on self-help. Do not underestimate the power of stupid people in large groups. And never criticise the post office. One day they may find out where you live. Learn that we never learn from the mistakes of others. Try to make them yourself. Remember that all experience is gained just after you need it. Recognise a mistake when you make it again. It's a rare man who never makes the same mistake once. Know that you will never ever forget that which you never really needed to know. Be sure that one day the world will beat a path to your door. Know that at that moment you will be in the bath. Never keep small breakable items in the hallway. One day your ship will come in. It is the natural consequence of global warming. Bear in mind that double negatives are a complete no-no. And there is no such thing as a double positive. Yeah, right. It is possible to play a harmonica by driving very fast and holding it out of the window. Remember that although the early bird gets the worm, the second mouse gets the cheese. Behind every successful man is a surprised woman. We are all Millicent until proved guilty. A room is always at room temperature. When you've seen one shopping centre, you've seen them all. With the coming of old age, remember that if God had wanted you to touch your toes, they would have been on your knees. If God had wanted me to eat muesli, he would have made it smell like bacon. With the coming of old age, you will know all the answers, but nobody will ask any of the questions anymore. And with the coming of old age, you may one day find a suppository in one ear. At that moment, you will realise where your hearing aid is. In life, we must learn that indecision is the key to flexibility. A man can believe that there is good in everyone, but not if he's met some of the people I have. And one day, as you lie alone on your bed and stare in wonder at the countless millions of stars shining in the night sky, you'll realise that only one question really matters. What happened to the ceiling? And finally, you will learn the value of time. If time did not exist, everything would happen at once. Know that one day you will look around and think to yourself, this is the place to be. You are wrong. It is the verb to be. And that's the verb to be, Les Barker. Thank you.
I'm very badly confused now. Great stuff. Okay, over now to John White, and after John, could we have Chris Lamb, please?
Right, unless you've been involved in education in the UK, I don't think you would know and appreciate just how strong the influence of the BBC has been in broadcast schools, very imaginatively. Some years ago, the set book for GCSE was Romeo and Juliet. And so the BBC said they'd give commissions to people who could produce a modern version of the young lovers whose relationship ends so sadly. And Ewan took up the challenge and wrote this beautiful song, Sweet Thames Flow Softly. And I think many of you know that the line is taken from Edmund Spenser's 1660 poem, Sweet Thames Flow Softly Till I End my Song. I met my girl at Woolwich Pier, beneath the tall crane standing, and all the love I felt for her, it passed all understanding. Took her sailing on the river, flow, sweet river, flow. London town was mine to give her, sweet Thames flow softly. Made the Thames into a crown, flow, sweet river, flow. Made a brooch of silver town, sweet Thames flow softly. At London Yard I held her hand, at Blackwall Point I faced her, at the Isle of Dogs I kissed her mouth, tenderly embraced her. Heard the bells of Greenwich ringing, flow, sweet river, flow. All the time my heart was singing, sweet Thames flow softly. Limehouse Reach I gave her there, flow, sweet river, flow. As a ribbon for her hair, sweet Thames flow softly. From Shadow Dock to Nine Elms Reach, we cheek to cheek were dancing. A necklace made of London Bridge, her beauty was enhancing. Kissed again, once again at Wapping, flow, sweet river, flow. After that, there was no stopping, sweet Thames flow softly. Richmond Park, it was her inn, flow, sweet river, flow. I'd have given her anything, sweet Thames flow softly. From Rotherhithe to Putney Bridge, my love I was declaring, while she from Kew to Isleworth, her love for me was swearing. Love had set my heart a burning, flow, sweet river, flow. Never saw the tides turning, sweet Thames flow softly. Made the Thames into, gave her Hampton Court to twist, flow, sweet river, flow, into a bracelet for her wrist, sweet Thames flow softly. But now, alas, the tide has changed. My love, she has gone from me, and winter's frost has touched my heart and put a blight upon me. Creeping fog is on the river, flow, sweet river, flow. Sun and moon and stars gone with her, sweet Thames flow softly. Swift the Thames runs to the sea, flow, sweet river, flow, bearing ships and part of me, sweet Thames flow softly.
Lovely, John.
Fantastic.
Lovely, John.
I always approve of river songs, John. Thank you for that. Or shall we call you Alan this evening? I'm not sure. Anyway, whoever you are, that was great. Um, okay, it is time now for Chris Lamb. And after Chris, could we have Tara?
Okay, last week John Pole was here and he sang a Miles Wooden song. This week I'm going to sing a John Pole song. I haven't told him I'm doing this, so if he doesn't like it, he can give me a bollocking later. I'm not sure if he's here this evening. It's called All Day Breakfast. Nice young couple called Dave and Daff ran a very handy little transport caff. Sign outside said loud and clear, all day breakfast, all day here. Door flies open one day, fellow bellows at Daff. Is this the all day breakfast, all day caff? Quite right, mister, she replies with pride, and this is what he orders once he gets inside. I'm having bacon and eggs and beans and sausage and 2 fried slice, mushrooms and tomatoes and black pudding twice, plus, of course, a drop of your thick brown sauce, large tea, 3 sugars, really hot and strong. If I'm having all day breakfast, I'll tell you this for starters, I'll have your guts for garters if I ain't having it the whole day long. Geezer, he's a big un, well hard and 6 foot tall, fair few foot around his middle and all. Bird turns up, and she's a big gal too, gives him a kiss and a cuddle, and then she reads them me and you. I'm having bacon and eggs and beans and sausage and 2 fried slice, mushrooms and tomatoes and black pudding twice, plus, of course, a drop of your thick brown sauce, large tea, 3 sugars, really hot and strong. If we're having all day breakfast, once we started eating, we'll take a lot of beating. We're having it the whole day long. Dave dishes up the order. Daff serves it piping hot. Couple grab their eating irons and scoff the blooming lot. Seconds now, I reckon, she says to him, and then he says, keep it coming, darling, we'll have everything again. We're having more bacon and eggs and beans and sausage and 2 fried slice, more mushrooms and tomatoes and black pudding twice, more, of course, of your thick brown sauce, more teas, 3 sugars, really hot and strong. If we're having all day breakfast, your notice spells it out like, there isn't a shadow of doubt, right? We're having it the whole day long. Soon as it comes, they're at it, shoving breakfast down their necks. They grunt and groan so loud, it sounds better than sex. Will that be all? Daff asks them. No, it won't, says he. Breakfast won't be over till we've had enough, you see. Till we've had enough bacon, eggs and beans and sausage and 2 fried slice, enough mushrooms and tomatoes and black pudding twice, enough, of course, of your thick brown sauce, enough tea, 3 sugars, really hot and strong, if we're having all day breakfast. Don't you savvy English? We started, so we'll finish. We're having it the whole day long. With 6 good breakfasts in 'em, they finally grind to a stop. Caff so quiet, you can hear a plastic teaspoon drop. 1 minute stuffed to bursting, they sit there wreathed in smiles. Next, there's an explosion, and you can hear for miles and miles. They've had too much bacon and egg and beans and sausage and 2 fried slice, too much mushrooms and tomatoes and black pudding twice, too much, of course, of your thick brown sauce, too many large teas, 3 sugars, really hot and strong. They've been having all day breakfast. They've had it 6 times over. Some fragments fell in Dover. They'd been having it the whole day long. Spontaneous combustion of a very special kind had blown 'em both to kingdom come, left not a lot behind. Now punters come in coachloads, good news for Dave and Daff, but there's no more all-day breakfasts at the Big Bang Caff. 'Cause there's no more bacon and eggs and beans and sausage and 2 fried slice, no more mushrooms and tomatoes and black pudding twice, no more, of course, of your thick brown sauce, no more large teas, 3 sugars, really hot and strong. Dave and Daff will serve you breakfast. Fry up me, I usually have yoghurt, fruit and muesli. But it mustn't take the whole day. You mustn't go the whole way. You mustn't take the whole day long.
Hey.
Oh my gosh.
That was hilarious.
I've never heard that before. That was brilliant. I don't think John is here, but you did him proud, I think. Okay, time for Tara and then something from Riggy, please.
Made me hungry. I'm going to sing a Melanie Safka song, A Little Bit of Me, hopefully. Balanced on a mountain with the people all around who say that I've been up too long and they want to bring me down. Well, I wouldn't mind the falling, no, it's the ones who come to see. If all I got left inside is just a little bit of me, won't you hold my hand now? Hold my hand tight, hold lightly in the day and hold harder at night. Well, I don't mind the coming down, it's the way it's gotta be. What I hope I got left inside is just a little bit of me. And when it is all over and I become a seed, they'll plant me in the universe where the balance gotta be. Now I don't mind the dying, no, it's the way it's gotta be. But I hope I leave behind just a little bit of me. A little bit of me, to be balanced on a mountain with the people all around who say that I've been up too long and they want to bring me down. Well, I don't mind the coming down, it's the way it's gotta be. What I hope I got left inside is just a little bit of me. Hope I got something left for me. Beautiful.
Lovely.
One was for Jeanne.
Beautiful. What they said, really. That was lovely. Maximum contrast there. And possibly more contrast coming up from Riggy, and then I'll do one.
High contrast. Coming up in just 11 more days is a religious holiday for a lot of people who are into all things British here in Berkeley. They meet in a very dramatic spot to celebrate May Day. And here is a song about it. Come, you young men, come along with your music, dance, and song. Bring your lasses in your hand, for 'tis that which love commands. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. 'Tis the choice time of the year, now the violets do appear. Here the rose receives its birth, and the pretty primrose decks the earth. And to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. And when you've well reckoned half what kisses you your sweetheart gave, take them all again and more. It will never make her poor. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. Here each bachelor might choose one that would not faith abuse, now repay with coy disdain love that should be loved again. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. And when you've thus spent your time, and the day being past its prime, to your bed prepare at night, then dream there on your day's delight. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. Then to the maple haste away, for 'tis now a holiday. Happy May Day coming up.
Lovely. Beautiful, Riggy.
Thanks, Riggy. Getting the May songs in early. Yeah, that's a nice one. Okay, I'm going to sing next, and then it will be Judy Cooke after me. So I feel the need really to respond kind of in kind to Chris's song. I wasn't planning to sing this, and it may all go horribly wrong because I don't know if the words are there or not, but Adam McNaughton knew what he was talking about. But I'm not making any sense. So anyway, a little bit of a refrain, I guess, with this one, if you want to join in. I've been taking advice on the right things to eat since shortly before I was born. For the national dried milk and the cod liver oil to powdered rhinoceros horn. In the days they'd tell us to lay off the starches, the sugars, potatoes and bread. Now they've done a U-turn, tell us bread and potatoes will give us the fibre we need. So I've made up my mind that the menu's designed by the experts just aren't for me. No trained dietitian or general practitioner will decide what I have for my tea. Brown bread with the low-fat paste thinly spread on may be healthier than a meat pie. But who wants to grow old eating St. Ivel gold? I would rather taste butter and die. Cholesterol, cholesterol, my chance of survival is small. But I'll no get a dose of anorexia nervosa, 'cause I love my cholesterol. The thing that has brought this affair to a head is the good-hearted Glasgow campaign. I just said what's that, and the doc had his needle sucking blood out the handiest vein. 3 weeks later they measured my height and my weight, and they took my blood pressure and all. A computer said, mate, to survive at your weight, you would need to be 7 feet tall. But I'm no gonna take the suggestions they make about changing the way that I eat. Cutting out cheese and nae chips, if you please. Nae chocolate, nae ice cream, nae meat. They tell us to give up these goodies below, and they promise us pie in the sky. Well, semi-skimmed milk might diminish my bulk, but I'll take double cream till I die. Cholesterol, cholesterol, my chance of survival is small. The way that I dine, I'm on course for angina, but I love my cholesterol. Now it's all right for you that smoke 40 a day and spend every night in the bar. You can tell the health visitor you'll cut it out. She'll say, what a fine fellow you are. But when I tell her I'd never smoked in my life and I was teetotal to boot, she says, go away, there is nothing to do. You've nae vices that you can cut out. Well, I don't mind them probing in my hemoglobin if it's just for a case history. But it puts the health visitor into a tizit, her duty to try and save me. She says, fresh fruit and yoghurt's a lovely dessert. Why don't you give it a try? Well, I don't give a hoot for her yoghurt and fruit. I'll have Black Forest Gatto and die. Cholesterol, cholesterol, my chance of survival is small. The cream I consume, it may lead to my doom, but I love my cholesterol.
Done.
Marvelous.
Oh, I love it.
Thank you. Adam McNaughton that was. And he writes a load of brilliant songs.
Oh, he does.
Over to you, Judy. And after Judy, could we have Rory Grieg to finish off the first half, please?
I did love that. I love Adam's songs, and you sang it so well. And having 2 songs of excessive eating in a row is just lovely. So I'm going to sing a song that Benedict Gagliardi from Rhode Island wrote the words to the tune of Awake Arise in honor of the Swedish botanist Carl Linnaeus, who gave us the system of binomial nomenclature that we still use today. So enjoy the chorus on this. Of 3 domains of all life, eukaryotes are we. Inside each cell within us, a nucleus there be. Bacteria, archaea, unfortunate are they. They have no membrane bound around their strands of DNA. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we. Come all you motile metazoans, listen to my song. The kingdom Animalia is where we all belong. Plants may have their chlorophyll to photosynthesize, but animals are heterotrophs, and so are the fungi. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we. Our backbone gives us structure, our backbone gives us strength. So with the other chordates, we find our phylum rank. But let our bony ego never be unfurled, for the spineless worms and insects, they truly rule the world. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we. By the milk our mothers gave us, by the hair upon our skin, It's clear that we are mammals, class Mammalia we're in. Most have a placenta, but this class has strange extremes, like the milky pouched marsupials and egg-laying monotremes. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we. So let's put things in order now that we've been to class. With monkeys, apes, prosimians, we the primates do amass. We all can be distinguished by our well-filled craniums and the envy of all other life, two fine opposable thumbs. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we. Welcome to the family. All great apes are we. Orangutans, gorillas, and our cousin chimpanzee. This family are great climbers, and some can use their feet, while others who have not that skill attempt to climb by tweets. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we. Homo is the genus of the African bipeds who stood erect, picked up tools, and learned to use their heads. Our cousins are extinct now, leaving only us. But thanks to our bad habits, we may join them soon enough. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we. So we are Homo sapiens, but let us not forget the reason we were given our specific epithet. We earned it for our wisdom. We earned it for our brain. Let fear and hatred never trump our consciousness again. Linnaeus, Linnaeus, here's to your hierarchy, and let it not betray us. One species are we.
Wow, great.
Wonderful.
Clever song.
Yay.
Took me back to my undergraduate years, Judy. Absolutely correct as far as I remember. Excellent. Okay, time now for Rory to finish off the first half. Then we'll have parish notices, then a break, and then we'll do it all again. Over to you, Rory. Don't forget to unmute.
Can't really follow that at all, can I? That was tremendous, amazing. So I've got a ballad for you, a Lincolnshire version of the Outlandish Night. An outlandish knight came from the Northlands, and he came a-wooing to me. He told me he'd take me unto the Northlands, and there he would marry me. Fetch me some of thy father's gold, and some of thy mother's fee, and one of thy father's best horses, from where there stand 33. She's fetched him some of her father's gold, and some of her mother's fee, and one of her father's best horses, from where there stand 33. Now she's mounted on a milk-white steed, and him a dappledy grey. They rode till they came to the salt river side, 3 hours before it was day. Light off thy milk-white steed, and deliver it now unto me. 6 pretty fair maids have I drowned here, and thou the 7th shall be. Now doff off your silken gown, deliver it unto me. I think it is too rich and too good to rot all in the salt sea. Doff off thy satin stays, deliver them unto me. I think they are too rich and too good to rot all in the salt sea. If doff off thy shimmy, and deliver it unto me. For I think it is too rich and too good to rot all in the salt sea. If I doff off my shimmy, she said, then turn thy back to me. It is not fitting a man like you a naked woman should see. He turned his back towards the wall and viewed the leaves so green. She took him by the middle so small and plunged him into the sea. He waved to the bottom, he waved to the top, he waved very near to the side. My pretty fair maiden, take hold of my hand, and thou shalt be my bride. She said, lie there, you false-hearted man, lie there instead of me. For 6 pretty maidens hast thou drowned here, but the 7th has drowned thee. She mounted on a milk-white steed and led the dappled grey. She rode till she came to her own father's hall, 3 hours before it was day. The parrot being in the window so high, hearing the lady did say, I'm afraid some ruffian has led you astray, that you've tarried so long away. Prittling, prattling, pretty Poll Parrot, come tell no tales of me. Thy cage shall be made of fine glittering gold, and the doors of the best ivory. The king being in the chamber so high, hearing the parrot did say, what ails you, my pretty parrot, that you prattle so long before day? It's no laughing matter, the parrot did say, that so loudly I call unto thee. For the cats have got into the window so high, and I'm afraid they will have me. Well turned, my pretty Poll Parrot, well turned, said she. Now your cage shall be made of the glittering gold, and the doors of the best ivory.
Well sung.
Rollicking ballad serves that guy right, if you ask me. So yeah, some controversy over the inclusion of parrot verses, but never mind. In the chat there. Okay, I'm going to pause the recording.
Bingo. Right. This is a song that was collected all over southern England. It's very well known. Got one of the best tunes, really. Also noticeable for the sleaziest chat-up line in the English tradition. As I rode out one midsummer's morning to view the fields and to take the air, down by the banks of the sweet primroses, There I beheld a most lovely fair. On 3 long steps I stepped up to her, not knowing her as she passed me by. I stepped up to her all for to view her. She appeared to me just like some virtuous bride. I said, fair maid, where can you be going? And what's the occasion of all your grief? I'll make you as happy as any lady, if you will grant to me one small relief. Stand off, you false deceiver. You are a false, deceitful man, 'tis plain. 'Tis you who has caused my poor heart to wander, and to give me comfort now 'tis all in vain. Oh, I'll go down to some lonesome valley, where no man on earth there shall me find, where the pretty small birds do change their voices, and every moment blows a blusterous wind. Thanks to the sweet primrose.
Well sung.
Very nice.
That is a good tune. Yeah, always enjoy that one. Thanks, Paddy. Time now for Kathy, and after Kathy, could we have Wendy?
Right, I was going to sing a St. George's song tonight, but I was taken with Bob Wakeling's song about the Ranters. So I thought I'd do the other one he mentioned from 1649 about the Diggers instead. And it's double point because it also mentions St. George. In 1649 to St. George's Hill, a ragged band they called the Diggers came to show the people's will. They defied the landlords, they defied the laws. They were the dispossessed, reclaiming what was theirs. We come in peace, they said, to dig and to sow. We come to work the lands in common and to make the waste grounds grow. This earth divided, we will make whole, so it will be a common treasury for all. And the sin of property we do disdain. No man has any right to buy and sell the earth for private gain. By theft and murder they took the land. Now everywhere the walls spring up at their command. They made the laws to chain us well. The clergy dazzle us with heaven, or they damn us into hell. We will not worship the God they serve, the God of greed who feeds the rich while poor men starve. We work, we eat together, we need no swords. We will not bow to the masters or pay rent to the lords. We are free men, though we are poor. You diggers all, stand up for glory, stand up now. From the man of property, the orders came. They sent the hired men and the troopers to wipe out the diggers' claim, tear down their cottages, destroy their corn. They were dispersed, but still the vision lingers on. You poor take courage, you rich take care. This earth was made a common treasury for everyone to share. All things in common, all people one. We come in peace, the orders came to cut them down.
Thank you, Kathy. Ranters, then diggers. What is next? Only Wendy can tell us. Wendy, it's going to be you, and then could we have David Diamond after Wendy?
Okay, so this one is for you, Amanda, because I think that you suggested this at one point, and it's at least women getting their own back rather than kind of succumbing to men, and accompaniment kindly provided by Simon. So I can't try and fool you that he's playing it live this time. Okay. I hear these women raving about their monkey men, about their trifling husbands and their no good friends. These poor women sit around all day and moan, wondering why their wandering papas don't come home. But wild women don't worry, wild women don't have the blues. Now when you've got a man, don't ever be on the square, 'cause if you do, he'll have a woman everywhere. I never was known to treat no one man right. I keep 'em working hard, both day and night, 'cause wild women don't worry, wild women don't have the blues. I've got a disposition and a way of my own. When my man starts kicking, I let him find another home. I get full of liquor, walk the streets all night, go home and put my man out if he don't act right. Wild women don't worry, wild women don't have the blues. You never get nothing by being an angel child. You better change your ways and get real wild. I want to tell you something, wouldn't tell you no lie. Wild women are the only kind that really get by. 'Cause wild women don't worry, wild women don't have the blues. Ooh. No, wild women don't worry, wild women don't have the blues.
Great to hear that again.
I'm glad I suggested that, and well done, Simon, as well. Like the instrumental break there. So no, lovely stuff. Okay, over to David Diamond, and then could we have something from Storm?
Oh yeah, I'm here. I do love the blues, but I'm going to do something completely different. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure whether this is a story with musical interludes or a song with spoken interludes, but it is a true story, and I was reminded of it, and it's a very happy memory. about 40 some years ago, I was living in Maryland, a couple of 100 yards from my children's school, the Dufif Elementary, and my children who were attending it were my twin boys, Tom and Matthew, and my daughter, who was 10, and they were 8, and I was new super enthusiast for folk music, and what do you know, the school puts on a talent show. We got to do something. We definitely have to do something. So I put together a team. My daughter to do the and my wife with the help of my wife to do the scenery, and was going to produce a short and very poignant tragic tale. And we prepared, and on the night, we're waiting in the wings, and out there were all these children doing their wonderful acts of various talents. And before us was a little group of girls doing, all in tutus, doing ballet. It was very delightful. And then we're on. The curtains go back to reveal a large cardboard box with a bath painted on it, by my daughter, of course, and me sitting behind it, stripped to the waist, to the oohs and ahs of the audience, of course, with a shower cap on. And beside me, a friend of my son's, who was dressed, he's also 8 years old obviously, and he was dressed in a short dress with a pinafore and a small pillow tucked behind his waist, and he was holding a large brush. And I sang as follows. Our mother was bathing a baby one night, the youngest of 10, a poor little mite. The mother was fat and the baby was thin, only a skeleton wrapped up in skin. The mother turned round for the soap for the rack. She weren't gone a minute, but when she got back, her baby was gone, and in anguish she cried. And the young thespian who was holding the brush said, "Oh, where is my baby?" And I, who by this time was hiding behind the bath, said in my deepest sepulchral voice, "The angels replied." And then entered my twins, dressed in two of my business shirts, white shirts, which hung round well past their knees, with a cardboard, what's the names over their head? I'll think of the word in a minute. And they sang, of course, "Your baby has gone down the plug, oh, your baby has gone down the plug. The poor little thing was so skinny and thin. He should have been bathed in a jar. Your baby is perfectly happy. He won't need no bathing no more. He's working his way through the sewers. not lost, just gone before. And the curtains closed and we went into the back. And that was our great act. But the bit that I remember the most happily was when we were out there, one of the little ballerinas marched up to the young man dressed as the mother and said in perfect calm, "Can I borrow your lipstick?"
Back on the new leaf.
Which one?
Well, David, I was not expecting that. I'm not sure anyone was. Okay, did I say Storm? I think I said Storm. So Storm, you should be ready. And after Storm, Simon Prager, please.
Okay. Okay, can you hear me? Or is that? Wait 1 second, I gotta have my PCA shut off the vacuum cleaner. Okay, sorry about that. So April is Autism Awareness Month, and as some of you know, I have a very involved daughter with nonverbal autism, and I deal with Asperger's myself. So I'm going to do a poem about that, and then a quick seasonal song. And Aspergian is the title that adult people with Asperger's prefer. Younger people like the term Aspie, but that doesn't have quite the same feel to me. Okay, so Aspergian. I am an outcropping in this current of conversation. Words rush around me, gurgling with connection, information, pathways of presence. Still I remain solid, silent, unable to transform into fluid, to join the flow that surges onward. Sometimes the wetness of a hello or a pertinent question sloshes across me and I moisten a little, causing tiny granules to journey onward, leaving behind a little bit more smoothness, bringing slightly closer to view trilobites, gold, and years of hidden history. I truly desire to be discovered by you. It's even in our sleep, you know, that we may hear the fiddler's bow, causing us to rise and go on a Morris tour, surely. In ribbons with bells below each knee, we make quite a sight to see, all dressed in white to some degree, and our hair all loose and curly. Ah, we may stop to pick a twig, steal a kiss, or dance a jig, collect a bag that's small or big, or flirt with some sweet girlie. And if you choose, you can partake of morsels of our Morris cake, and each of us is a dashing rake, so gentle, kind, and burly. Now some of us have seen a lot, and are quite pleased with what we've got. Others of us ain't yet been caught, thus hope to grow more worldly. Bucknell is the style we do, we're sure to get a smile from you, with willow tree and rabbits too, we hope we don't dance wobbly. Then out we all shall bring our sticks and clash them for some fast-paced licks. Still we do it all for kicks, that's why we're up so early. Yet there is reason for our dance, your crops and home we would enhance. We bring you wealth as we prance, and health to all who are poorly. And when at last our dance is done, we'll invite you all to come to an alehouse for some fun, to sing of Elsie Marley. So it's 6 men up for Morris now, 6 men up to cause a row. We'll dance for crowds, a horse, a plough, because we love it dearly. It's even in our sleep, you know, that we may hear the fiddler's bow calling us to rise and go on a Morris tour, surely. Both are original.
I bet it's still.
Thanks, Storm. I assume by yourself. Yeah, two very nice offerings. Okay, it is time for Simon Prager's second performance of the evening, somehow. Simon will be followed by Paul Carter, please.
Okay, this is a piece, one of my favourite pieces. This was a pop song around the turn of the last century, and it was picked up by Gary Davis and made into mainly a guitar instrumental. This morning, about 4:30, hesitation blues come knocking at my door. Tell me, how long must I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? I ain't never been to heaven, but I've been told St. Peter taught the angels how to gently roll. Tell me, how long I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? I'm standing on the corner with $1 in my hand, looking for a woman who's looking for a man. Tell me, how long must I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? This is another song I found which fits the same tune. History tells about poor old Joe. He walked around with his head hung low, 'cause he couldn't stop doing it. He wouldn't stop doing it. He chopped too much cotton and he stopped doing it now. Jane got a pain in her back. Her face is like a funeral hack because she wouldn't stop doing it. She couldn't stop doing it. She lifted too many ash cans, but she stopped doing it now. Our neighbor's rooster used to chase our hen. We asked him, please don't let it happen again, but he wouldn't stop doing it. He couldn't stop doing it. We had soup last night now. He stopped doing it now. Oh, late this morning, about 4:30, hesitation blues come knocking at my door. How long must I have to wait? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate? Can I get you now, or must I hesitate?
Simon.
Hey!
Bravo! Bravo!
Nice picking, Simon. Well done.
Yeah.
Nicely done, Simon. Yeah, great. Pal is next, and then Ray McLaughlin. Just to say that we may not get everybody on, I'm not sure, but you can all help by keeping your introductions short, if you could, please. Okay, over to you now, Pal.
Oh, I don't want to follow that. I want to hear more of Simon. I have to change the mood, unfortunately, because it's time for misery. Trees, they grow high, and the leaves, they do grow green. Many's the time my true love I've seen. Many's the hour I watched him all alone. He's young, but he's daily growing. Father, dear father, you've done me great wrong. You have married me to a boy who is too young. I am twice 12 and he is but 14. He's young, but he's daily growing. Daughter, dear daughter, I've done you no wrong. I have married you to a great lord's son. He will be a man for you when I am dead and gone. He's young, but he's daily growing. Father, dear father, if you see fit, we'll send him to college for another year yet. I'll tie a blue ribbon all around his head to let the maidens know that he's married. One day as I was looking on my father's castle wall, I spied all the boys playing with a ball. And my own true love, he was the flower of them all. He's young, but he's daily growing. And so early in the morning, at the dawning of the day, they went into a hayfield for to have some sport and play. And what they did there, well, she never would declare, but she never more complained of his growing. At the age of 14, he was a married man. At the age of 15, the father of my son. At the age of 16, oh, his grave it was green, and death had put an end to his growing. I'll buy my love some flannel, I'll make my love a shroud, and every stitch I put in it, the tears they will fall down. and every stitch I put in it, so the tears they will fall. Cruel fate has put an end to his growing.
Like
Lovely. This one, pal.
Nothing like a bit of misery, pal, and you do it very well. Okay, over to Ray, and then something from Mara Levine, please.
Thanks, Amanda. I'll just give this one a go anyway. As I was a-walking down by the Lock Hospital, I spied, cold was the morning and dark was the day. I spied a young squaddy all wrapped in white linen, all wrapped in white linen, as cold as the day. So play the drums slowly and play the fife slowly. Sound that march as you carry him along, and over his coffin throw a bunch of white laurels, for he's a young soldier cut down in his prime. Oh, mother, dear mother, come sit you down by me. Come sit you down by me and pity my sad plight. For my body is injured and sadly disordered, all by a young girl who me owns heart delight. So play the drum slowly and play the fife slowly. Sound that march as you carry him along. Oh, and over his coffin throw a bunch of white laurels, for he's a young soldier cut down in his prime. Get 6 of me comrades to carry me coffin. Get 6 of me comrades to carry me on high. And let each of them carry a bunch of white roses, so no one will notice as we pass them by. So play the drum slowly and play the fife slowly. Sound that march as you carry him along. Oh, and over his coffin throw a bunch of white laurels, for he's a young soldier cut down in his prime. And over his headstone these words they were written: come all you young fellows, take warning from me, and beware of the flash girls that roam through the city, for the girls of the city were the ruin of me. So play the drum slowly and play the fife lowly. Sound that march as you carry him along. Oh, and over his coffin throw a bunch of white laurels, for he's a young soldier cut down in his prime.
playing
Awesome.
Right.
Very much, Ray. I haven't heard that version before, so good to hear that. Over to Mara now. Welcome back, Mara. And then could we have something from Steve Suffet?
Well, hi, it's good to be here. I hope everybody's doing all right. I saw the news in the chat. Thanks for those of you who put that news in that chat. Important news. I'm going to sing one of my favorite Simon and Garfunkel songs. It's called Leaves That Are Green. Rarely recorded it. I recorded it with my friend's gathering time. I'm going to use my backing tracks. You might need to turn your volumes up because when I have the original sound enabled, it lowers the overall volume for you. Here we go. I was 21 years when I wrote this song. I'm 22 now, but I won't be for long. Time hurries on, and the leaves leaves that are green turn to brown. Once my heart was filled with the love of a man. I held him close, but he faded in the night. Like a poem I meant to write, and the leaves that are green turn to brown, and they wither with the wind, and they crumble in your hand. I threw a pebble in a brook and watched the ripples run away, and they never made a sound, and the leaves that are green, oh, the leaves that are green turn to brown, and they wither with the wind, and they crumble in your hand, and they wither with the wind, and they crumble in your hand. Hello, 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 goodbye, 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 that's all there is, and the leaves that are green, oh, the leaves that are green, yes, the leaves that are green turn to brown. That was
Thanks, Mara. Great to hear that. And I guess you were harmonizing with yourself. It sounds great. Okay, it's over to Steve now, and then something from Kate Portal.
Okay. I think everyone understands now why Mara Levine is one of the stars of the New York metro area folk scene. She's really, really lovely. This is a ballad, but it's an African-American ballad, and unlike the British ballads, there's only one dead person in it. And I believe he's dead when the song begins, actually, so... I tell old Bill when he gets home this morning. I said tell old Bill when he gets home this evening. I said tell old Bill when he gets home, better leave them downtown women alone. This morning, this evening, so soon. Now Bill left here 8:30 this morning. I said Bill left here 8:30 this evening. I said Bill left here 8:30, while old Bill left by the old front gate this morning, this evening, so soon. Sal was home, she was baking her bread this morning. I said Sal was home, she's baking her bread this evening. Sal was home, she was baking her bread when she heard the news that her Bill was dead this morning, this evening, so soon. Well, oh no, that just can't be so this morning. Oh no, that just can't be so this evening. Oh no, that just can't be so. My Bill left here not an hour ago. This morning, this evening, so soon. They brought Bill home in a hurry-up wagon this morning. They brought Bill home in a hurry-up wagon this evening. They brought Bill home in that hurry-up wagon. Oh my God, how his toes was dragging this morning, this evening, so soon. That has dragon in it, but there's no St. George, is there? Ooh.
Sleep as well.
No.
Yes,
Okay, let's wrap it up.
Good song, but terrible pun. See, oh.
Bill, when he gets home this evening, well, tell old Bill that when he gets home, better leave them downtown women alone. Last time this morning, this evening, so soon. Tell old Bill.
Okay, now you're
Okay. I just got an opening with the dentist tomorrow.
Unfortunately, Steve, if you do a pun in the middle of your song, the people think you've finished and mute you. So we missed about half a verse, but never mind. Okay, over to Kate now, and then after Kate's Tom Reed. Can't hear you yet, Kate. Oh, I think you're unmuted now.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Can you hear me? Okay. Not about St. George, but a very English song. It's of a fine young man indeed. He was mounted on his milk-white steed. He rode himself all alone until he came to lovely Jeanne. I think I'm starting the wrong key. It's of a fine young man indeed. He was mounted on his milk-white steed. He rode himself all alone until he came to lovely Jeanne. Good morning to you, pretty maid, and twice good morning, sir, she said. He gave her a wink and she rolled her eye. He says to himself, I'll be there by and by. Now don't you think these books of hay a pretty place for us to play? Why don't you come with me, you sweet young king, and I'll give you my golden ring. So he took off his ring of gold. My pretty little mister, this Behold, I'd freely give it for your maidenhead, and her cheeks they blushed as the roses red. Oh, give that ring into my hand, and I will neither stay nor stand, for it will do more good to me than 20 maidenheads, said she. And as he made for the pooks of pay, she leapt on his horse and tore away. He called and he cried, but 'twas all in vain, for John she never came back again. She did not think herself quite safe until she came to her true lover's gate. She's robbed him of his horse, and she's robbed him of his ring, and left him to rage in the meadows green.
Sorry.
Very cunning young woman, that, Kate. Thank you. Okay, I've been trying to think of a joke about tom-toms because we're going to have Tom read followed by Tom Postlett, but I can't think of one. So over to you, Tom.
Thank you, Amanda. I've got a bit of a sore arm. An NHS doctor shoved a huge Viking sword into my arm a couple of hours ago. And wouldn't even give me a lollipop for being a brave boy, but I'm so glad I've had my second jab. One encounter with COVID was quite enough. All the old Sharps regulars will remember this. I'll have to imagine they're singing along. Well, it's so good to be here tonight, my old friend. I just had to see you. Now I'm nearing the end. For so long have I traveled, so far have I roamed, but something inside me kept calling me home. I'll bring the whiskey if you'll bring the wine. Let's go down to the river just for old lang syne, and we'll talk till the morning creeps over the pines. I'll bring the whiskey if you'll bring the wine. Has it been 60 years since we rambled these hills like young Davy Crockett and Buffalo Bill? Oh, we chased all those rustlers down the old Rio Grande and died with our boots on at Custer's last stand. I'll bring the whiskey if you'll bring the wine. Let's go down to the river just for old lang syne, and we'll talk till the morning creeps over the pines. I'll bring the whiskey if you'll bring the wine. I remember so well all those long summer nights we fished on the river, not one single bite, but we swore to each other by the stars in the sky, that we be blood brothers to the day that we die. I'll bring the whiskey if you'll bring the wine. Let's go down to the river just for old lang syne, and we'll talk till the morning creeps over the pines. I'll bring the whiskey if you'll bring the wine. Well, I carry those memories all down through the years. Sometimes they brought laughter, sometimes they brought tears. Through the good days and bad days, through struggle and strife, for surely those were the best days of our lives. I'll bring the whiskey if you'll bring the wine. Let's go down to the river just for old lang syne, and we'll talk till the morning creeps over the pines. I'll bring the whiskey if you bring the wine. Yes, we'll talk till the morning creeps over the pines. I'll bring the whiskey if you bring the wine. All friends, thank you.
Bravo!
So good, Tom. So good.
Everyone's missing the choruses like mad, Tom. I can't wait to be back in real life singing along to your songs. Okay, it is Tom Postlett. Tom, why did it take you so long to find us? Good to have you here at last. Tom's one of our regulars. And after Tom, could we have Hazel Richings, please?
Well, with great apologies to Kate, we had planned to do Lovely Joan, so we're going to do a different version of Lovely Joan.
A fine young man it was indeed, mounted on his milk-white steed. He rode himself all alone, until he came to Lovely Joan.
Good morning to you, my pretty maid.
Twice good morning, sir, she said. He gave her a wink, she rolled her eyes.
Says he to himself, I'll be there by and by. Oh, don't you think those books of hay would be a pretty place for us to play? So come with me, my sweet young thing, and I'll give you this golden ring.
So he took off his ring of gold, saying,
Pretty miss, do this behold. I'd freely give for your maidenhead and her cheeks they flushed like roses red.
Give me that ring into my hand, and I will neither stay nor stand, for this would do more good to me than 20 maidenheads, said she.
And as he made for the pooks of hay,
she leapt on his horse and rode away.
he called, but all in vain. Young Joan, she never looked back again. Nor did she think herself quite safe until she came to her true love's gate. She'd robbed him of his horse and ring and left him in the meadows green.
Oh,
Wow.
super.
Oh, where's it gone?
Well, ostensibly we've had that song twice tonight, but it certainly didn't feel like it because they're two totally different renditions. So thank you. And yeah, sorry, Joe, I didn't realise that it was Tom and Joe. So great to have you here as well. Okay, over to Hazel now, and then could we have Declan?
Thank you, Amanda. You've mentioned liking river songs, and this one is a bit of a divide. What's a spring breathing jasmine and rose? What's a summer with all its gay train? Or the splendor of autumn to those who've bartered their freedom for gain? Let the love of our land sacred rise, to the love of our people succeed. Let friendship and honor unite and flourish on both sides the Tweed. No sweetness the senses can cheer, which corruption and bribery bind. No brightness that gloom can e'er clear, for honor's the sum of the mind. Let the love of our land sacred rights, to the love of our people succeed. Let friendship and honor unite and flourish on both sides the Tweed. Let virtue distinguish the brave, place riches in lowest degree. Think them poorest who can be a slave, them richest who dare to be free. Let the love of our land sacred rights, to the love of our people succeed. Let friendship and honour unite and flourish on both sides the Tweed. Okay.
Beautifully sung.
Plaudits are in the chat, Hazel, as always. Over to Declan now. Declan, then Heather Preston, and then we will see. Time has got away this evening. We may not get everybody on, but certainly Declan and then Heather.
Hi, can you hear me all right? Yeah, just a very, very, very quick introduction. I've waited 12 months to sing this song, waiting for somebody to sing The Green Fields of France. And it finally happened tonight. But I had already made up my mind to sing it anyway. So apologies to Marty Stock. And it's no reflection on any of the William McBrides who died in 1916 in France. I hope I'll be forgiven for this. Have you heard that old song about Willie McBride? If I hear it again, it will turn me inside. It's sung in the springtime and it's sung in the fall, and mostly by people who can't sing at all. You go out for a drink on a Saturday night, a song, a pint, sure the thing's going all right. Till some drunken bowsy sits down by your side and asks for the one about Willie McBride. Well, you say you don't know it, but that just won't do, 'cause now he's determined to sing it for you. He spills half your drink and starts off in a key that was never invented on land or on sea. And as time goes by, sure, the whole thing gets worse. You soon realize that he knows every verse. With his arm around your shoulder, 'cause now he's your friend, he's going to sing the damn thing to the end. You go out to the Jacks for a quarter of an hour, and you watch the TV in the old public bar. And when you come back, sure you hope he has tired, but he's still going on about gas and barbed wire. And 10 minutes later, you're all in a trance. He's up to his arse in the green fields of France. The place is so quiet, you can't hear a squeak. Does he not realize that they've all gone to sleep? Oh, Willie McBride, why the hell did you die? The trouble you'd have saved if you'd come back alive and got a wee job or signed on the brew. We'd not have to listen to songs about you. But still all the same, now I'm glad that you're dead, with the green fields of France piled on top of your head. For the trouble you caused since the day that you died, shooting's too good for you, Willie McBride. Apologies for
That is a brilliant parody and nicely done, Declan. Marty, I hope you will not be offended. Okay, I don't think he was referring to you anyway. Okay, over to Heather now. This is Heather's first time at Sharps in Isolation, so big welcome for Heather and looking forward to hearing you sing. After Heather, we will, I hope, have time for Marianne at least. Okay, over to you, Heather.
Oh my goodness, there is no way to follow that. All right. Otter Song, Gordon Bach, 1966. I go down to the brandy tree. I take my nose and my tail with me, all for the world and the wind to see, and never come back no more. Down in the meadow marsh, deep and wide, tumble the tangle by my side, all for the westing wind to run, and slide in the summer rain. Sun, come follow my happy way, wind, come walk beside me, moon on the mountain, go with me, a wondrous way I know. Think I'll modulate. I go down to the windy sea, the little grey seal will play with me, slide on the rock and dive in the bay, and sleep on the ledge at night. But the seal don't try to tell me how to fish in the windy blue. The seal's been fishing for 1,000 years. He knows that I have too. When the frog goes down to the mud to sleep, and the lamprey hide in the boulders deep, I take my nose and my tail and go 100,000 hills. Sun, come follow my happy way, wind, come walk beside me, moon on the mountain, go with me, a wondrous way I know. Someday down by the brandy tree, I hear the shepherd call for me, call me to leave my happy ways and the shining world I know. Sun on the hill, come go with me, my days have all been free. The pipes come laughing down the wind, and that's the way I go. Yeah, that's the way for me. Should I?
Such a lovely.
What a great song, Heather. Thank you. Really enjoyed that. Please come back if you can. Okay, over to Marianne now. And okay, we've only got 2 other singers after Marianne, so I think we'll just go for it. So it will be Elizabeth Block followed by Helen. And yeah, so Marianne, over to you.
Thank you. I won't introduce anything. I'm sure you've all heard it before, but anyway. As I roved out one evening fair, by the verdant braes of Skreen, I set my back to a thorn tree, to view the sun in the west country, and the dew in the forest green. A lad I spied by yon burn side, wi' a lassie by his knee, and he was as dark as the berry brown red, and she all way and one to see, all way and one was she. Oh, sit you down
down on the grass, he said, on this dewy grass so green. For the wee birds, they have all come and gone, since I my own true love did see, since I my true love seen. Oh, I'll not sit on the grass, she said, no lover will I be of thine, for I hear you lie with the Connaught girl, and your heart's no longer mine, my dear, your heart's no longer mine. So I'll not heed what any young man says, let his eyes be blue or brown. No, and I'll never heed what any young man says. If he's fair to man, he's the one, she said. If he's fair to man, he's the one. Oh, but I will climb the high, high tree, and I'll rob that wild bird's nest, and home I will bring what I find there, to the arms that I love best, my dear, to the arms that I love best. Sinead.
So beautiful.
Beautifully sung.
Bravo. Thank you. Francis McCreek.
Wonderful stuff, Marianne. And of course, we should be finishing, but since you have all promised to take your glasses to the bar and stack your chairs before you go, we have time. We'll make time for another two singers. It's Elizabeth Block and then Helen to close the evening. So over to you, Elizabeth. But just before Elizabeth, if you haven't put the name of your song in the chat already, then please do so that everyone can see and David can collate it. And that's it for the moment. So over to you, Elizabeth.
I haven't put it in because I keep changing my mind. As late, bump it up. As lately I did travel, my heart filled with despair. I came upon a wondrous sight that drove away all care, where glittering waters glided and magic filled the air. Beside the Susquehanna and along the Delaware, of where and how I do not know, and why I do not care. From now until forevermore, my soul will wander there. by field and flood and sunlit hill, by wood and meadow fair, beside the Susquehanna and along the Delaware. I think and hope and dream no more the dreams of otherwhere, for things that were and might have been, I now have ceased to care. For I have breathed too long, too deep, the lotus in the air, beside the Susquehanna and along the Delaware. Beside the Susquehanna and along the Delaware.
Thanks, Elizabeth, adding to the rivers theme. Okay, before Helen sings, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for being here this evening, making the evening what it was, and looking forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks to Livy on the mute button and David for doing the compilation and of the index. And for those who don't read the chat, yeah, you missed the news that Derek Chauvin has been found guilty of all charges in the killing of George Floyd, which is fantastic news at last. Okay, so I don't know what Helen has to offer, but it is over to you, Helen, to close the evening. If you're still here.
Is, but she's muted.
Ah.
So adding to the strong women theme.
Okay, Helen, if you're singing standing up, we can't see your face at all at the moment.
I have to sit down. All right. Now, am I all set? Sound, visuals? Okay. Adding to the strong women theme. I've traveled east, I've traveled west, I've traveled all Kirkpatrick. The bonniest lass I ever spied, she was following her collier laddie. Oh, where come ye, my bonny lass? Come tell me what they call thee. Polly Jean Gordon is my name, and I'm following a collier laddie. Oh, see you not yon hills and dales, the sun shines on say brawly. They are mine and shall be thine, in you leave your collier laddie. If you had all the sun shines on, and the earth conceals say lowly, I turn my back on you and it all, and embrace my collier laddie. So he has gained to her father dear, to her father gain say brawly. Oh, would she marry a man? Or would she follow a man that is black, and me say fine and gaudy? I'd raise her up to a height. Oh, I've lost it. So he has gained to her father dear, to her father gain say brawly, saying, what will you give me for your bonny, bonny lass? That's following a collier laddie. Oh, would she marry a man that's black, and me say fine and gaudy? I'd raise her up to a higher degree than following a collier laddie. Her father then he vowed and sware, let be he's black, he's bonny. She's mere delight in him I fear than you with all your mind. Oh, I can win my 5 pennies a day and spend that night full glory. And I'll make my bed in the collier's nook, and I'll lie down with my collier laddie.
Thanks, Helen. That is it for this evening.